Hello and welcome to the Indian Community Podcast. I'm your host Amit Gupta with my friend Rahul Mehra. And our guest today is breaking boundaries, literally and cinematically. You've seen him in Sudani from Nigeria, a performance that won hearts across India, a Tamil movie Sorgavasal, and now he's back with a bold new role in Dilli Dark, a film that doesn't shy away from the realities of race, identity, and chasing dreams in urban India. So please welcome the incredibly talented and fearless Samuel Abiola Robinson to the Indian Community Podcast. Hi, Samuel.
Hi, thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I'm really happy to be here.
We're so excited, Samuel. I was so glad that when you responded to me, I was like, look at this. Samuel is responding to us. So we were so happy to see you. Engage with us.
Yeah, I mean, it's my pleasure. It's my pleasure to be here. No problem.
Thank you. So, Samuel, your movie is coming up in the next 2 3 days. Dilli Dark. I saw the trailer. It looked so promising. I think it's got a really cool vibe to it. Can you tell us a little bit more about your experience of living and filming in Delhi?
Yeah, so I would say that the film is probably 10 times better than the trailer. To be honest, if you think you've seen something, you haven't seen anything yet. So yeah, Delhi has been living in Delhi. It's been a wonderful experience. Getting to make this film here, so close to home. The film talks about what it's like to be an outsider in India, like any foreign sort of person, or even to be an Indian who is coming from a different state. And the kind of the way you interact with people in Delhi and things like that. And yeah, so we shot the film in many parts of Delhi and Noida, mostly. And that was such a fun experience because it's always Delhi can be a little bit chaotic. So there were many interesting things that happened on set, and overall there was never like a boring day on set.
That's great.
That's great. And did you pick up any Delhi buzzwords while you were filming? Any interesting words that you picked up in Hindi?
I
I
mean,
have
yeah,
been.
I picked up some.
Yeah, yeah, please carry on.
Yeah, I picked up some words, but I don't think I can say those words here on this platform. But you will see. I will say it in the movie, though.
Yeah, this is a PG channel, right? So,
Yeah, exactly.
So, if you have to describe the movie in just 3 words, what would you say?
In just 3 words, I would say innovative, because there has never been a film like this made before. Um,
Hmm.
I would say, I would say also courageous, because the Baka is venturing. The director of the film, his name is Debaka. He's venturing into new territory with this film. He's putting his money on the line, his reputation. This is his debut film, so it's sort of how he makes his stand, how he makes his debut as a director. Like, okay, this is me. This is who I am. This is what I'm about. So definitely courageous, and funny because it's a very funny film. Honestly, I mean, this film was screened at Mumbai Film Festival, and we had just 5 screenings, but everything was like house full. People were standing in line for 2 3 hours just to get a ticket to the movie, and like the theaters was roaring to the point that even the theater staff was sneaking in and crouching just to watch the film to see what is this hype about. Like, what is this? Why is everybody laughing and being so loud? So it's a very, very funny film. There's a lot of hilarious dialogues. I think people will really enjoy it.
That's good.
that,
That's
that's
super.
good. So, I think that's the fun part about India, right? We Indians will find situations funny, especially situations about ourselves. And then when we see somebody, come in and also experience similar situations, and the way you would react to something that's extremely normal in India, right? That also makes it very humorous. Anything that you found very different in India versus Nigeria that you found hilarious, right? And you would call back home and say, "This is what these guys do in India."
Um, I think there are many things in India that are different. The like I think something that I found pretty funny is how people, mostly the influencer culture here is very strong. There are so many influencers making videos everywhere, even sometimes at the risk of their own lives and stuff. They're in the metro making videos and stuff. So that is something that I found to be very, very, very funny when I first came to Delhi, and I would see all these influencer girls and guys at the metro stations and whatever. Sometimes they don't even go there to eat. Like if they go to a restaurant, they don't even go there to eat or do something. They just take the pictures and like. So I found that to be very funny. You don't see a lot of that in Nigeria, and it's very interesting too. It's a very urbanish Western thing that happens in Delhi.
Hmm.
That's cool. Since you mentioned food, any Indian dish that has won your heart, and you were probably scared when you first tried it, but now you have it every now and then. Any particular dish that you love?
I would say my top three favorites in India so far, in Delhi mostly, has been there's a dish called chole bhature, which it's very delicious actually. It's something that you would, when you the first time you see it, you're like, oh, what is this? Should I try it? You're like, but then when you have it, then you're like, oh, okay, damn, this is interesting. And there's this there's like I don't know what it's, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing the name. Is it gold gappa or something? It's like a
Well,
ball full of,
Yeah,
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 that
absolutely.
yeah, that it has like quite a kick to it, and that was also very delicious. And the last thing I would say, I mean, I think this one is not specific to Delhi. I think it's just generally an Indian dish that I love so much. Probably my favorite, one of my favorite dishes from India is like chicken tikka masala.
Hmm.
Like there's nothing, I've never tasted anything like that in any part of the world. I don't think there's any dish that can replicate that. Like it's delicious. You have it with rice or you have it with naan. Like I love that. I love chicken tikka masala so much.
That's right. I think the tandoor culture is very much um,
Oh yeah, of course, tandoori chicken and Afghani chicken, Malai chicken. Of course, I've had all of those as well. I love those as well.
correct, correct. The tandoor is very unique to India. You wouldn't really find it elsewhere, and that
Yeah,
type kind of brings that barbecue to a very different level. So I can
yeah,
relate with
exactly.
what you're saying.
Yeah, that's
Because
like the Indian equivalent of a barbecue. Like you said,
that's right.
tandoori chicken, Malai chicken. Like that's like, and it's so delicious. I don't even know. Like I sometimes I feel like I understand why once upon a time people came to India for the spices and the things, because you just can't get this stuff anywhere else.
Yeah, yeah. Don't make good food, otherwise you're gonna get invaded, right?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's just too good.
Yeah. No, so I think now I have a joke for a friend who said his country never got invaded. I'm gonna tell him, that's because your food is not tasty enough.
Exactly. Exactly.
So that's interesting. And you when did you actually come to India? When was that?
So the first time I came to India was in 2017 to
Mhm.
do a Malayalam film called. So the backstory is I was already an actor in Nigeria. I was already
Mhm.
doing well and doing films there, and so there was some Malayalam producers who were doing a film and they were looking for an African actor. So they started reaching out to casting directors in Nigeria, in Africa as a whole, but they were not getting what they want. So, sort of like out of frustration, I guess, the director went and just Googled top young Nigerian actors and he saw a picture of me and he was like, okay, this guy looks like what we're looking for. So they
Mhm.
reached out to me. And so that was how I came to India for the first time. I went to Kerala. It was in 2017 to shoot a film called Sudani from Nigeria, which was very different from Dilli Dark. It's like a football sort of story. It's a story about community coming together and stuff, still around this topic of football. And so that film did very, very well. It was a huge blockbuster in Kerala, and because of that, afterwards I did a Tamil film called Sorga Vasal, and now this is my debut Hindi film, Dilli Dark. So I've been coming to India on and off. Like I've been coming and going since 2017.
That's beautiful. One small correction there, Samuel. So the Sudani from Nigeria was not just popular only in Kerala, and I'll tell you, it is popular all over India and outside of India. Anybody who loves good cinema would watch that movie because it was a beautiful story. I think Subin Sahir and you both did a wonderful job, right? Especially, the fun part is how you were able to communicate with each other, even with language barriers, right? And just the
Yeah.
emotions were so powerful, and the story was beautiful. So I think everything in that movie was perfect. The actors, the story, the direction, everything was incredible. And I don't understand Malayalam, but we watched that movie, and of course with subtitles. But I'll tell you that that movie was one of my favorites. So that was a correction. It is popular all over the world.
Thank you.
Here
Thank you
in
so
the
much.
US, I've met friends, and we've all discussed the movie Sudani from Nigeria. So
Wow.
we loved it.
Thank you so
Thank
much
you
for
so
saying
much for
that.
that. So, what was your experience of working with Subin Sahir? I mean, he's a wonderful actor, but working with him, what was your experience?
Yeah, it was wonderful working with Salvin. He's a great actor and a very professional guy.
Great, great.
That's cool.
Now, Samuel, you have worked in Malayalam cinema, and now this is, I think, this Dilli Dark is a Hindi English hybrid.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, it's yeah, Hindi English you could call it that, but most of the film is in Hindi.
Mhm.
Mostly just my dialogues are in English.
Okay, mostly what? So I mean, here you found your co-actors talking in Hindi more or English more, and how was the kind of camaraderie between your co-actors and you doing this movie?
There was on this film there wasn't really much of a language barrier because a lot of people, almost everyone, could also understand English. But so I can understand a little bit of Hindi. मैं थोड़ा हिंदी समझता हूँ, but the problem is
Okay.
my speaking confidence is not to speak it is I don't have that confidence, so I make a lot of mistakes. But as far as understanding it is concerned, I can understand maybe 50% of what it's saying because I've been living here in Delhi for a while now. So it was never really an issue on set with the language because I'm also actively trying to learn Hindi and so I could communicate with the cast most of the time. Like I said, they spoke English, and even when they were speaking in Hindi, I could understand what they were saying, and it helped me to be able to react, when we're acting and things like that, and bounce off of what they're saying and stuff like that.
Okay, so let's test how your Hindi is going, right? So let's
It's
the
not
next
good,
question.
to be
The next
honest.
question is going to be in Hindi.
It's very bad. Bahut kharab.
Did you learn Malayalam also?
I learned a little bit of Malayalam, just some dialogues and some little things. Malayalam is a very tough language. I tried to learn it,
Okay.
but it was a very big challenge for me.
So you know Hindi more than Malayalam,
Yes, I understand Hindi more than I understand Malayalam.
and that is also because you live in Delhi.
Yes, yes, partly due to that. Yes.
That's cool.
Okay.
But I'll stick to my next question being in Hindi. So let's see how that goes, right?
Oh my God.
अगर आपको दिल्ली डार्क नाइजीरिया में बनानी हो तो कौन सा इंडियन एक्टर आप उस पिक्चर में लेंगे?
I think you're asking that. Uh, what Indian actor do I like or something like that, or what Indian actor do I think needs to see the film? Is that
You're very close to that. Yes. So I was asking you if you were to remake Dilli Dark in Nigeria with an Indian
okay?
character, okay, who's
Okay.
navigating Lagos, right? So
Mm.
let's say it's Lagos Dark or Lagos Bright or whatever maybe there's part two of the movie. Who would you select as the actor? Because you've seen so many, and you would say, this character, navigating Lagos streets would be perfect.
I think It's a tough one, you know. I don't really have that sort of directorial perspective to know. You know, I'm an actor myself to
Correct.
say which actor. Uh, but I don't know. Maybe Vicky Kaushal would be interesting because he just has that sort of look where if you put him in such a, you know, just as Delhi is chaotic, Lagos is also a pretty chaotic place,
Hmm.
and it feels like someone you'd be able to get the real those kind of raw emotions from him about his experience there and stuff like that. So I would say maybe most likely Vicky Kaushal.
Yeah, he's a terrific actor, and I'm sure he would do a wonderful job
Yeah.
in that role. Especially with this particular character that you're playing. Can you tell us a little bit more about your character in Dilli Dark, and was it easy or was it challenging?
So my character, I play the character of Michael Okeke, who is a Nigerian student who has come to India to study for his MBA, his master's degree. And even after he graduates and he receives his degree, he tries to make a living. He tries to get a job and things like that. When he came, he thought, oh, it's gonna be really easy. I have a master's degree. Of course, I'm gonna get a job and get everything. But then he finds it very difficult, actually, and he struggles a lot with, to survive and things. And I can't really say too much about the film without giving it all away. But then he eventually, it's a film that talks about how the sort of struggles he faces, trying to find his way, trying to find a way to survive and a way to make something of himself while living in Delhi as an African guy.
Hmm. That's wonderful. And um, did you take anything away from being on the streets in Delhi? What did it teach you as a person?
Yeah, most of the film, actually, a lot of my personal experiences are in the film. To be honest, like Debaka and I worked together on the script. Like he took a lot of inspiration from me and things that had happened in my personal life also
Uh-huh.
to do the film. So I would say if you want to find out what that was, you should watch the film on May 30th to see what those things are. So yeah, a lot of the experiences, many of those things came from my personal experiences in Delhi, living in Delhi. You know, Delhi is a chaotic place for anyone. It's not even, it doesn't matter if you're an African, even someone who comes from South India, from Kerala and comes to Delhi or something, you will struggle in certain ways. But eventually, I feel like that's why Delhi is a place where you have to have patience for you to find your own sort of community, your own sort of place where you belong. Because there's a place for everyone. You know, there's the places in Delhi. You have Bengal community, you have Gujaratis, you have everyone has their place. When you initially arrive in the city, everything seems like chaos until you give yourself time to adjust and find your own community here.
No, that's very well said. In fact, Samuel, I think um, this is something that while it is part of our culture, we say Atiti Deva Bhava, which means like guest is God. But there are some unfortunate incidents that do happen with students, especially from Nigeria who've come to India. But I think the situation is now changing. People are more understanding, and they've now understood these students better. Hopefully this movie is also going to shed some light about it, and make it more easier and comfortable for Nigerian students in India.
Yeah, hopefully, just but the movie is not just I mean, certainly it's going to help the perception of foreigners in India, but the movie is not so much just focused on Nigerians as a just generally anyone, even an Indian who has slightly darker skin and things like that. I think the movie will really help sort of improve that perception. But I think you are absolutely correct with what you said, that it has been improving over the years. Even I can see the difference from as the years have passed from 2020 when I first came to Delhi and how things are now. People are becoming much more educated, much more exposed. So that's why I said, like, to stay in Delhi, you need to have that patience. You need to have that patience to allow the city to welcome you. Eventually, eventually it will welcome you if you have the patience to wait for it.
That's
True, true,
true.
absolutely true. You have been acting in Nigeria. You said that you
Yes,
have been an
I've
actor in
been.
Nigeria. Yeah, and
Yeah,
also for quite some time you have been acting in India also. right? In different locations, in Malayalam, here in Delhi. So, what's the difference? What's the kind of difference you feel like? And is there somebody in the Hindi film industry that you would actually you are craving to work with?
So to answer your first question, the main difference is, see, honestly, I would say the main difference is really just like language, because at the end of the day, I feel like, film industry is film industry. Wherever you go, maybe the scale increases. Like if you went to Hollywood and you go into, even still, you have some Bollywood movies that are being shot on a Hollywood level, with the same sort of equipment and things. So as far as that is concerned, nothing much changed in that respect. It's pretty much the same sort of technical aspects to the filmmaking. So the language and the people now, it's like, India is such a diverse country. It's like, well, in Nigeria, almost everywhere you go, people are, because I am a Nigerian, so I'm used to my people. But one thing I've noticed in India is that um, the way, like, people in Kerala would, the way they would interact with you is different from the way someone in Chennai would interact with you, is different from the way someone in Delhi would interact with you, is different from the way someone in just, like, sorry, Gujarat would interact with you. Everyone here has like a sort of unique presence depending on where they are from. Some people say, oh, all Indians look the same, but that's far from the truth. Like wherever a person is from, the way they are going to interact with you, the kind of vibe, the kind of presence that they would have. Like if you meet a Punjabi guy with so much swag and such arrogance and such, stuff like that. So it's like that has been really interesting to see in like the actors, in the crew members and stuff like that. When you meet people, okay, this guy is from Gujarat, this guy is from Bengal, this guy is from, like, on one set you see such diversity. So I would say the diversity is has been the biggest difference. Like India is such a diverse. You can see two people that look exactly the same in India, but they are completely different people. They are completely different. They have different cultures, different everything, and that's why I'm so grateful that a film of this sort is being made, because I think that it's time to promote that sort of diversity. And I think that is one of the biggest strengths that India lies. Like if only people in this country could just embrace their diversity and love each other. Like there's no limit. They say India is someday going to take over the United States in economy and everything. I think that when people start working together here, and that sort of any sort of like maybe all these minor squabbles and discrimination, all of that ends, then this country is going to take off like like crazy. And I'm really happy that that is starting to happen now. And About the actor that I would love to work with. See, my favorite Indian actor was Arfan Khan, but I mean he passed away, so it's not. I mean,
Yeah.
my favorite Indian movie, a Hindi movie I've seen was The Lunchbox.
Mhm.
But as of today, I would say I would love to work with. I would love to work with, maybe Akshay Kumar, because uh, I think he's just such a diverse actor. You never see him. He's always trying new things. He seems to be like the one of the most fearless actors. Like he just throws himself into whatever role and just goes for it, goes ballistic. Like however, and like that's very interesting, because I tend to be a very serious sort of rigid sort of person. So I think that that sort of contrast, that like working with him would maybe help me loosen up a bit. To sort of take inspiration from that sort of fearlessness and boldness he has going into roles.
That's cool.
Definitely, Akshay Kumar is fearless, and he's also called the Khiladi of Bollywood of India, and he does all his stunts himself. So be careful;
Wow.
he's gonna really throw you off if you do a stunt with him. But wonderful. So Samuel, I really loved this conversation, and I know you are in the middle of your movie promotions right now. So we really thank you for all the time that you shared with us. We wish you all the best for Dilli Dark. We hope and we pray that it is going to be the brightest of movies that you've done so far, and
Thank
you
you. I
have a
hope so too.
wonderful career ahead. We are all looking forward to it. So if anybody's watching this, definitely go watch this movie in the theaters
May 30th.
on May 30th. Yes, and reach out to Samuel on Instagram and share your love with him and tell him what you think of the movie, because we would all be looking forward to see you in more and more Indian cinema.
Thank
and
you.
international cinema in the years coming forward.
Amen. Thank
We
you. Thank you
really
so much for having me.
Absolutely. Yeah.
thank you. Any last messages for the Indian community? To remind them about the movie, or just about anything else that you want to tell them?
Yeah. So Dilli Dark is coming to you in theaters May 30th. Please go watch with your family, with your friends. Trust me, you've never seen anything like this. And I'm not just saying that because I'm trying to promote my movie. You literally have never seen any film like this, so please go watch it. And I look forward to hearing from you on Instagram. I look forward to your love and support. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Samuel. We'll see you
Thank
soon again. Maybe after the movie, you're going to be a really bigger star, but I'm still going to ping you and going to say, okay, Samuel, let's do a reaction.
For sure. I will always respond to you. No problem.
Thank you so
Thank
much, Samuel. We'll see you soon, and all the best once again.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much.